What power cleans do for you? What power cleans do for you on a movement level? What power cleans do for you on a physiological level? And what power cleans do for you on a psychological level? So today we want to discuss what power cleans do for you. If we look at different levels, so we can look at the movement level, we can look at the physiological level, and we can also look at a psychological level. So if we look at a movement level, a power clean involves a few fundamental movements. We have spoken about that before. Fundamental movements are basically squatting, bending over, pushing, pulling, rotating. These are fundamental movements. So power cleans basically work on bending, so the hip hinge. They also work on squatting, and they work on extending. And the extension is basically one of the most important benefits a power clean has. It's called triple extension. It's an extension of the hip, knee, and ankle, so 3 joints that extend. And if you are doing any sport that involves a triple extension, such as jumping, running, throwing, kicking, whatsoever, you'd better be doing power cleans, because that's what you need to do in your sport. Another thing that power cleans do for you, if we look at the physiological level, it helps you to express force quickly. We've spoken about that before, the difference between force and power. Force is basically the expression of force to overcome resistance, but it can take some time. So if you imagine you lift a very heavy object off the ground, that might take a few seconds. In sports, most of the times you don't have seconds to execute your movement. So what a power clean does, it basically bridges the force side and the velocity side. So you have to lift a heavy load, but you have to do it quickly. And that's also what we need to do in sports. We have a short period of time where we can express our movement, whether it's running, jumping, sprinting, throwing, whatsoever, kicking. But in that short period of time, we need to express the highest force that we can do. Another aspect of the power clean is that it teaches you to absorb forces. So once you rack the bar on your shoulders and you catch it, this is called the eccentric control, so it really teaches you how to absorb forces. If we look at the psychological level and mental level, that's very often overlooked, but in my opinion it's very important. There is something in the scientific literature in Germany, and it divides efforts, mental and psychological efforts, into, I use the German word first, and then I try to translate it. So there's such thing that is called Willensspannkraft, and there's such thing that is called Willensstoßkraft. I'm pretty sure it sounds very German to every not German speaker. Anyway, Willensspannkraft is basically the ability to last efforts. So if we're talking about a 400-meter run, which if you have done it before is very, very torturous. So it's the ability to last voluntarily and to push yourself for that period of time. If we're talking about Willensstoßkraft, that basically means your ability to express the effort as quickly as you can. So a power clean is a good example for that. As a side note, in electricity they have a word that's called slew rate. So it's how fast something can rise. So the Willensstoßkraft, so the ability to express your voluntary effort from 0 to 100, that's basically what a power clean does. Because once you step onto that platform, once you grab the weight, there's no way back. And also not once you've lifted the weight, you have to do it. So it's a do or don't. As a recap, it teaches fundamental movements. From a physiological level, it helps to express force quickly and to absorb forces. And from a psychological level, it helps to express your effort as quickly as you can.